on. Boom. What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, and I am back with another live stream. Back with another day. As always, hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. What's going on, Damian? Knuckles, Big T. Big T, blessing the Discord, blessing the chat. Appreciate you, man. We'll get into all that here in a second, but per usual, we got some of the same stuff on tap, but should be I guess, a more action-packed day now that NBA is back. Yesterday, NBA took the night off. Made sense. They gave the stage to national championship game, so it only makes sense. Anytime we have a major event like that, you'll see the other sports kind of take a back seat. I think that's what happened yesterday with the NBA. But we're back. Some pretty meaningful games today. It's got a lot of teams that are still looking to get into the playoffs or at least get into the play-in. I feel like my mic is so close. Yeah, so we should have some competitive games along with MLB, but NCAA is over. No more men's and women's college basketball for the next handful of months. So it is all NBA playoffs, MLB right now. So let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button on your way in. Truly means a ton. Helps this channel get bigger every single day. I got some plays to share with you from the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, we'll talk a little bit about what's been going on over the past few days. Got a couple of offers. Also, if you're interested in joining the Discord, I got an exclusive offer. If you're looking to take your research to the next level, I got something for you as well. It's been fun in the Discord the last couple of days. No matter if you're in the free section, freemium or premium, doesn't matter. You're winning, you're hitting, you're making money. I will say that if you have paid to get into the Discord, you have made your money back and then some. So that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Get your money back, and then everything else on top of that is profit. We'll talk about all the profit we've been making in the Discord over the last handful of days. And hopefully we'll see you in the Discord very, very soon in the premium section. But let's get on with the stream, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, over 10% of the U.S. population dies in their sleep. Very morbid start to the stream. If you're new here, this is how we kick it. We kick it with death. We go right at it. All right, listen, you're on the other side of that 10%. So #blessed. Value the day accordingly. Do something cool today. Hope an old lady cross the street, feed a homeless dog. I don't know. Figure it out. But that is a true statement right there. 10% of the U.S. population dies. You did not. You're here. So your day is off to a good start, in my opinion. Let's get into some turds of the day. Now, we didn't do a live stream on Sunday. Didn't do one yesterday. And we're back on Tuesday. So we can cover turds over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday turds. Let me know in the chat, who was your turd? I have a turd from yesterday. It didn't really hurt too many slips, but it was just something that I did not see coming. I'll kick it off. Nestor Cortez going way over fantasy score. I mean, didn't really see the Marlins getting beat like that. Nestor Cortez went off to have a 40-point fantasy score, 7 scoreless innings, I believe, 7 strikeouts. I don't even think he allowed a run. He gave up 2 hits, I believe. So just a phenomenal game from that dude. I took the under on his fantasy score. So he was kind of a turd yesterday, but maybe the Marlins can be a turd for not putting up more of a fight, maybe something like that. But I did have Nestor in a couple of slips, and it did prevent me from getting a full sweep in one of those slips. But not a whole lot went wrong yesterday, so I'm not going to complain about too much. Oh, yeah, for sure, Damien. No doubt. What's going on, Ruben? Good morning. Ruben was like, I was excited for the stream yesterday. You didn't have one. Yesterday, we didn't have a stream. So I'm always looking to add things to my schedule just to give me more balance. So it looks as though Mondays will be a day where I don't have a morning stream. I can kick around the idea of doing an afternoon stream. My only issue with that is by the time we roll into the afternoon, whether it be like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., a lot of the value is gone. But if enough people feel like it'll be worth their time to jump on an afternoon stream, we can definitely consider that. But Monday mornings, won't be doing a live stream here on out. So I guess I need to update my schedule and put it on the YouTube channel and put it in the Discord so nobody is kind of waiting there. But if you have your notifications on, everything I post I post ahead of time, so you will get the notification if there is a stream. If you don't get a notification, then that means there's no stream that day. All right. Oh, so I'm lagging. Yeah, it's raining real bad here in Austin. And then yesterday we had the eclipse, which I didn't see anything yesterday. It was overcast all day yesterday. So I don't even know when the eclipse happened. It was just dark all day, raining all day. So yeah, if I'm streaming, if it's cutting in and out, I apologize for that. It's just the weather. The weather here is pretty bad. What's going on, Shy? What's going on, Vu? Good morning. Ruben, your turd was the no-run first inning, the Toronto no-run first inning. Ruben went perfect yesterday, 5 for 5 in our Discord with all his picks. Nice day. We all had a good day in the Discord yesterday, honestly. We'll get into that in a second here. I'm glad to hear. Not a lot of turds to talk about. That means your slips went well. Everything worked out for you. Let's move on. Injury news for today, Monday, April 9th. There's a ton of injury news here. Big questionable list here. So keep your eyes on that. I fully expect Joel Embiid and Maxey to play today. These guys are in the 7th seed. They got out of the 8th seed. And I think they're only a game or two behind the 6th seed. They're definitely trying to gain ground. So I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them suit up today. We know Middleton is in, Wiggins in, Fournier in, Beverly in. Already ruled out, we have Kawhi quickly, Gordon Hayward, Keldon Johnson, Triple J, Luke Kennard, Chris Dunn, and Walker Kessler. Doubtful. Not too many names on here that we need to be concerned with. Most of these guys are role players. Jimmy Grant's been doubtful for the last 2 months. I don't know why they don't just take him off and rule him out for the rest of the year. Josh Green, Jake LaRavia, Lamar Stevens, and Najee Marshall. Injury report is as follows. So keep your eyes out. This is going to change today, I'm sure. So if you feel like you got a good read on the injury report with some of these questionables, maybe start attacking some of the value on the team. If you feel a player is going to get ruled out, like we see with the Celtics all the time, you got Horford and you have Porzingis on that questionable list. If you feel like Porzingis sits, maybe you look at some overs on Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum could sit too. This game is absolutely meaningless to the Celtics. Fuck pride. Fuck rival. They don't give a damn. They've locked everything up. I wouldn't be surprised if they sit 2 starters today. It doesn't matter if it's against the Bucks. Who cares? I'm sure they want to win. I'm not entirely sure that they want to go all out to win this game. This could be a heavy Peyton Pritchard kind of day. All right. Let's move on to some I got a couple offers I want to share with you all. So let's move right on in. First offer, I mentioned this a couple of days ago on the stream, but this is a super good offer. It is ready to roll over on props.cash. So anybody who uses props.cash on the monthly basis, you know how much you pay per month. But this one is exclusive to Discord members only. $199 is your annual for the year. getting it at $149.99. It's a savings of $89. If you add up your monthly over the course of a year, you're saving $89 off this plan. It averages out to $12.49 per month. Discord members only. If you're interested in this, if you want to jump on this, let me know. Shoot me a DM in the Discord. That's the best way to get a hold of me. If you're already on a monthly, cancel it and then just sign up for this one. That's all you have to do. It's the same thing. You're still going to lock in some great value here. So this is offer number one. This is exclusive only to my Discord members. I'm not putting this on Twitter. I don't even have social media. I don't even have an Instagram. I don't even do that shit. This is only for my Discord members. Offer number two. So if you've been thinking about joining the premium Discord, I know it went from free to premium. How dare I? Oh my God, why am I charging? Listen, we all make moves to come up, and that was my decision. So anyway, if you're not interested in a 1 month pass or signing up for a full year, try out a 10-day pass. 10-day pass, $9.99, limited time offer, about $1 a day. I promise you. Everyone who signed up for the premium thus far has made their money back and then some. Not even a joke. So if you're interested in taking advantage of this 10-day pass, you can also shoot me a DM in the Discord. It is the easiest, fastest way to get a hold of me. Let me know if you're interested in this. We can get you going over in the Discord. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to our plays for today, Monday, April 9th, 2024. We're talking prize picks, underdog, jock market, sleeper, whatever you want to talk about. Wherever you play, we're always just looking for the best value. Per usual, all of our props research, player props research is brought to you by props.cash. This is my original offer to everybody. 25% off your first month. That's my promo code. However, if you want to take advantage of the full year at that discount price, let me know. Completely different offer. So I'm offering you 25% off your first month, and then I'm offering you a huge drop from that annual plan. But nonetheless, all of our research is brought to you by props.cash. If you've never seen props.cash in real time, stick around. We use it every single live stream to break down all of our player props. I usually don't talk about this one too much, but let's link up. If you all are looking for an alternate pick'em site, if you're looking for an alternate book, if you are in a state where PrizePicks has been removed or Underdog has been removed, I got your back. I got links for every single pick'em site. I got links for all the books, DraftKings, BetMGM, FanDuel, Bet365, all offering you really cool promos. You can find all this information in my stream description. If you have any questions about this, shoot me a DM. Let me know. I'll get you hooked up. Well, I got links for days. I got more links than a chain link fence. Let's move on to a few plays that I like for today. Now, I'm taking these plays from the Discord from 3 of my providers. Well, 2 of my providers over in the Discord. I got one on there myself. So PJ Washington over 12.5 points. That's on PrizePicks and HOTSTREAK. Got James Harden over 2 first quarter assists. That's on Underdog. That's from Mookie over in the Discord. And then Derek White over 12.5 points. We talked about trying to take advantage of some of this, these Celtics props. If we feel Porzingis sits, if we feel anybody sits, who is going to benefit from that? Derek White usually is one of those guys. Over 12.5 points. That's on Underdog, PrizePicks, and HOTSTREAK. And that's coming from Alien over in the Discord. Those are our 3 plays that I took right from our cheat sheet. Got a freemium cheat sheet and a premium cheat sheet. Check out the freemium cheat sheet. We've been killing it. Let's move on to PrizePicks, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this done. Let's get this started. No, not let's get this done. Let's just get this started. Let's get this kicked off. 21 viewers on the stream. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Hit that like button on your way in. Shy said, Jake Berger sold a ticket for me. What'd you take for him? Toronto, only MLB team not to score a run in the first inning. Jeez. I didn't know that. All right. Let's get some player props on the board. Who's everybody? Who's how do I word that? Who y'all looking at today? Who y'all looking at today? I got a couple of plays that I like. You've seen the 3 plays it took from the Discord. However, I do want to show you this one here. Now, this one is a demon. I'm looking to leverage it today. Again, I leveraged it yesterday. I put it in a slip. Ohtani goes yard. Numbers against righties, fantastic. Plus 350 odds to go yard today. Now, if you're skeptical about home runs, they are kind of risky, honestly. But if you're skeptical about his home runs, you can also look to something that's less risky, like his total bases. You can also look to his fantasy score, because if he hits a home run, he obviously goes over fantasy score. You could look at his total bases, demon, and normal line. There are many, many ways you can leverage Shohei's numbers today. But he hit a home run yesterday. He's off to a great start as a Dodger. He is the kind of player that I look to take advantage of when he starts a hot streak, because as he starts to get into the hot streak, you can still get his numbers at a reasonable line. Once he's 3-4 games into a hot streak, his numbers are so inflated. So this could be the start of a hot streak, and it could not. But I'm willing to throw this in a flex, not a power play, in a flex, and use it as a payout booster. And also, he has a good chance of going yard. So that's one that you can look at today. What's going on, Jalen? Good morning to you. George Kirby, Tyler Glasnow over pitching fantasy. Shy. Oh, you took his 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. What did he get? He didn't get any? Or did he hook you? Let's throw this George Kirby over fantasy. Sitting at 29. We're gonna look at that one. We'll break that one down to best. I thought I deleted that one. Get off my damn screen, Shohei. All right. Glasnow over 39. Oh, that's your pick, Ruben. Toronto, no run first inning. Got you. Is that one on PrizePicks? Maybe we can pull it up. Sometimes not. Sometimes. A lot of the times, the best nerfies are not on PrizePicks. You will have to find them on a book. But every so often, you can find a good one that's grading out well on the books. Unfortunately, that one is not on the books. All right. What's going on, Darrell? Good morning. All right, we got Kirby up. We got Glasnow up. I wonder if this one is still up. So Burns was at 7.5. He got bumped down to 7. Now, I almost took the under on this one at 7.5 because 7.5 is a pretty big number. Traditionally, Boston is not that team that strikes out a ton. But, man, to start this year off, yeah. They're letting guys whiff them pretty good. And so I just was hesitant to run the over on that 7.5 or the under on that 7.5. I'm not touching it at 7, but that's why it's important to just dig a little bit into that research. Now, Carlos Rodon, this is the one I played in a few different slips today at 6.5. I think that number is a little too high. It could be one of these situations where we just saw Nestor Cortez have himself a game against the Marlins, but that was largely due to the fact that the Yankees offense was on fire. Luzardo got hit up real hard. So I don't know what the history is or what the stats say when a pitcher has a lead, when a pitcher's working with a lead. But I tend to believe that they can do a little bit more, take a little bit more risk, like attack the zones a little bit more because they got such a big lead versus pitching from behind or 0-0 where you're trying to be very careful. And that could have been the situation yesterday. Now, Rodon is not the same pitcher as Nestor Cortez, and just because the Yankees beat the shit out the Marlins yesterday doesn't mean it happens again. So I don't think Rodon's in a position to take the over 6.5, but now that it's been bumped down to 6, I'm definitely not touching it. I hate push potential. But those are the two pitcher props that were really standing out early this morning. And unfortunately, they've been bumped down. Jalen says George Kirby correlates with the no Toronto runs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's look at Nas Reed points and assists. Maybe not. There we go. Man, Nas Reed had a 29.5 PRA line. Now it's been bumped down to 28.5. You like the over on that one, Knuckles? All right, we got a few plays on the board now. 29 viewers on the stream. Hit that like button on your way in. Helps a lot. Jalen says Clay and Austin over turnovers. Ooh, yeah. Austin Reeves over turnovers. Sign me up. Sign me up. Took the over on his turnovers Sunday. Ended with 3. And they just keep rolling it out at 1.5. Sneaky. What's going on, Steven? What's up, man? I was watching your Nerdy Coffee this morning about WrestleMania. Dude, I don't even know there's a WrestleMania this weekend. I'm so out of tune with wrestling. But you sounded very excited about it, and you know, I don't really hear you talk about wrestling too much. So I was like, damn, Steven's excited about WrestleMania. That might be something I need to watch on replay or something. All right. We got Reeves in there. Who was the other one? Clay? Let's do it. All right. This will give us 5. We got Kirby, Glass now. Those are our 2 MLB players. We'll take a look at some fantasy breakdown for them. We got Reed, Reeves, and Thompson. We'll take a look at Reeves and Thompson in the same game. We'll knock those out together. All right. Let us head on over to props.cash. I've been mentioning this a little bit more lately. Props.cash has a very informative blog that they post every morning. They tend to cover whatever major sports are in play. So baseball and NBA today. There's your national championship high insights from yesterday. I don't see a hockey play, but if you are already a member of props.cash, then you have access to all this. So before you log in, right at the start screen, just scroll down a little bit and you'll see this. All right. You can read that on your own time, though. Let's start with the 2 MLB picks. We'll go Kirby over fantasy points and then Glass now over fantasy points. All right. Wow. George Kirby has a incredibly low strikeout prop. Why is it so low? Does anybody know why this is so low? Is it low? I feel like that's too low for him. Why is it 4.5? I feel like Toronto's been hitting well to start the year, but that well, where damn, he's sub 5 strikeouts on his line. Yeah, they're not striking out a ton. I get it. All right. So let's look at George Kirby's fantasy score at 29.5. So the two things you got to keep in mind with fantasy score is that you do get points taken away from you for earned runs. It's -3. So real quick breakdown of pitcher fantasy score. If you don't know, I'm going to teach you this, but you can also find this on the PrizePicks dashboard under score. Click it. It'll show you everything. All right. 1 point awarded for every pitching out. So there are 3 outs in an inning. You get up to 3 points in an inning for outs. Doesn't matter if it's a strikeout, pop up, ground out, doesn't matter. So 1 point per out, 3 points per strikeout, and -3 points for earned run. You also get a quality start bonus. If a pitcher goes 6+ innings and allows 3 or less earned runs, you get a 4-point quality start bonus. And then you also get a win bonus. So in order for you to qualify for the win, you have to pitch 5 or more innings into the 5th inning. You have to pitch into the 5th inning, and you cannot give up. Well, you just have to have the lead when you leave, and your team has to hold the lead. So if you don't understand like relievers coming in and fucking up the start, do your research on that, because that's one of the worst things when a starter is in position for the win. He leaves, a reliever comes in, gives up runs, and then they don't get credit for the win. So just make sure you're up to speed on all that. It'll save you a lot of heartache and pissed offness when you're tracking fantasy score. So let's see if we can get us 29.6 points from George Kirby today. So looking at his strikeout projection at 5.55 strikeouts for him. So obviously you can't do 0.55 in the MLB. So we just got to round that up. But for this, we'll just times it by 3 and got 16.65. He is projected to give up 2.4 earned runs. So 2.4 times 3 minus 16.65. That's 9.45. Now, the make or break here is outs. So 9.45 points. If George Kirby goes 6 innings, that's 18 points plus 9.45 from the strikeouts minus the runs. That's 27.45. So right now with just strikeouts, earned runs, and innings pitched, he's at 27.4. What's going to get him over this is a quality start. So if he goes 6 innings, if he pitches into the 6th inning and he keeps those runs under 3, he doesn't even have to win the game. If you lose the game, you don't get points taken away from you. So +4, that's 31. So he goes over with that. If George Kirby gives up an extra run, it brings him back down. So George Kirby has to be able to keep his runs under 3 and give you 6 or more. If he can give you 6+, suppress the runs, he's going to get the over on this one. I really believe that. If he gets blown up in the 1st inning, kiss it goodbye. He's going to get pulled out. He won't see 6 innings. But if everything goes according to our plan here, you're looking at about 30, 31 fantasy points. So that one does look good. All right, let's look at who was he going through on Glass now? Who does he pitch for now? Did he still pitch for Tampa? Oh, LA. All right. So let's do the same way. Let's look at his Ks. Projected for 7.58 strikeouts. So he has a much higher strikeout prop than, or has a much higher fantasy point prop than George Kirby. So 7.58 times 3, 22.74. All right, 22.74. He's projected to give up 2.15 earned runs minus 22.74. That gives you a total of 16.29. All right, so 16.29 is where we're at. Let's go to his outs. So he's projected, well, not projected. His line's at 16.5. These are pretty even odds here. I mean, you have a little juice to the under. So in order for him to get the over on this one, he has to pitch 7. Is that 7 innings? No. That is right at 6 innings, basically. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 5 2/3, basically. If he gets you 6 innings, that's what you want here. But he has to go 18 outs. So if he gets you 17 outs, which is 5 2/3, that could work. So plus 17, that's 33.29. Now, if he only goes 5 2/3 innings, he does not get the quality start bonus. He needs to go 6. But he could still be in line for the win. So at this point, he does need the win. Plus 6, 39.29. Okay, so we're chipping away at this. He absolutely has to give you 6+ innings, nothing under 6, and he has to give you every bit of these 7.5 strikeouts, closer to 8. He needs 40 fantasy points. So it's going to be tougher for him to get this one because the number's bigger. But Minnesota, to start off the year, striking out quite a bit. 24% strikeout rate. Last year, they're 27. That's a lot of strikeouts. So you want to take a look at his BVP just to get an idea of how many strikeouts are in his current lineup. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 strikeouts amongst this starting group. I'm not saying he can't do it. He just needs a lot more to go his way than George Kirby does. All right, that was a lot of breakdown for some fantasy scores. It is a lot of work breaking down fantasy scores. You have to play out a bunch of different scenarios. You know, you have to kind of like create a story for the game there. Okay, let's start off in this LA Golden State game. Let's look at some turnover props. Boom. All right, let's take a look at Klay Thompson. Over 1.5 turnovers today. He's gone over this line in 70% of his last 10, 80% of his last 5, averaging 2. Today, he is projected for 1.74. Give me the over on that one. Now, all 3 of these books do not like the over. They like the under on this one. So they're looking for Klay to give you 1 or less turnovers today. If you feel that is flawed, then you go with his 5 and 10 games. Numbers against the Lakers has not turned the ball over a ton. There's that one game, you know, but in the playoffs. But is that the playoffs last year? I feel like that was. But recently, this season, just one game. Is Curry back today? All right, there's Klay. Let's look at Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, 1.5 turnovers. This guy does turn the ball over a lot. One thing, I don't know if I mentioned this on my stream Saturday. Was it Saturday? It was Saturday. I took the over on his turnovers on Saturday because I remember bringing this to your attention that I like his turnovers. However, there's a huge difference between his turnovers at home and on the road. And this is just against Golden State. So over his last 5 home games, 7, 10, 12 in 5 games. Over his last 10 home games, look at this. He's averaging 2.8. Now, when we look at his away, yeah, he's turning the ball over, but just not as much. There is more volume when he's at home. So his turnovers at home seem to me like a good line to attack. I don't know what it is about the Staples Center, where he just turns the ball over way more. When you look at his odds, minus 125, minus 120, minus 123. So all that looks good. His numbers at home should catch your attention. So based off those numbers at home, we're looking for 3 or more turnovers today for Austin Reeves. That one looks good. All right, let's look at Naz Reid. We go from Reeves to Reid. Take a look at Naz Reid over points and assists today, taking on the Washington Wizards. Boy, this one feels like this one does not feel like an Anthony Edwards day. We talked about Anthony Edwards stepping up in games where there's just more on the line. We've seen him just kind of take his foot off the gas against these lesser teams. Doesn't get much lesser than the Washington Wizards. Naz Reid has been really stepping up in the absence of Cat, taking some pressure off of Edwards. But today, Naz Reid has a points and assist prop of 21.5. So let's take a look at that. He's 0 for 3 in 3 games played versus the Wizards, including 1 game this season. Now, keep in mind, that game back in January, different team, different role. Injuries really change the role of a player. Over his last 10 games, you see what he's done. Actually, let's look at his last 5 games, because that's when we're starting to see that production take another notch up. Odds on this one, even on PointsBet, under on BetMGM, even on Caesars, and then under on DraftKings. You are getting a little juice to the over here, but the other 2 books, even odds, it just feels like nobody knows what to do with this line. So if you're looking to take the over on this one, it's probably not going to get any lower than this. Well, it probably wouldn't move unless somebody gets rolled out. Last 10 games at home. Hook. Last 5 games at home. Little better. This guy is seeing tons of minutes, averaging 30 in his last 5. The majority of this is going to be points. He's not really doing a whole lot of distributing. He's attempting 15 shots a game. Okay, 15 shots a game. Let's compare that to his last 10. I mean, there's a game in there where he did go over 15, but maybe look at his last 15, maybe last 30. Yeah, so look at the difference between Karl Anthony Towns being in the lineup to not. So look at the volume here. So he's going to take his shots. The majority of this is going to come from points. If you feel like he can get the over on his point prop, it's not too far-fetched to believe that he might be able to get the over on his points and assists on points alone. But the Wizards do offer a favorable matchup. They're not good at all. So I don't see anything wrong with that one. I would love it even more if Edwards does play, but just doesn't play aggressively, because that way it keeps Naz Reid's lines down. If Edwards were to get rolled out, his lines will go through the roof. So keep the numbers low. It's easier to attack them that way, and just don't have a big game from Anthony Edwards, and you should be good with that one. All right, so we like the over George Kirby fantasy score. We do like the over on Glassnow's fantasy score, but the room for error is smaller with him because the number is high. So he definitely has to get you 6+ and 7+ strikeouts in order for him to even have a chance at this one. He needs to qualify for the start bonus, and getting the win doesn't hurt either. Naz Reid, we like the over on this one. Austin Reeves, I love the over on this one. Klay Thompson, I'm a little iffy on his turnovers just because we're not seeing that volume. especially against the Lakers, and the odds are not in favor of the over on this one. But if you want to roll with the game logs, then you have more support for the over on that one. And that's going to be our first group of player props. Knock them down. All right. 31 viewers on the stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's see what I missed. Jalen says, I don't mean to keep chatting, but does Banton and Ayton have good odds? That's what the chat's for. You're good. What's going on, Seaver? Good morning. What's up, Divine? Good morning. Good morning, Jim the Judge. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see. Banton and Ayton have good odds. Oh, RA. Okay. I was about to ask you for what? There's only one guy in the NBA with the last name Banton. Like, it should just pull his numbers right up. Now, this matchup with New Orleans is nasty. I feel like there's just foul trouble written all over this one for Ayton and Jabari Walker, but they're playing so many minutes. I mean, it's just hard to, no matter what the odds say, it's hard to take an under on these guys because they're just out there so much. So, but we'll see what they look like for sure. Let's look at LeBron's points. Throw those up on the board. Got bumped up from 24.5. I thought it was at 23.5. It might have been bumped up a couple of times. Siakam points. PJ Washington over points. Like Siakam today on both FanDuel, Underdog, and PrizePicks. And then PJ is actually one of my plays on my cheat sheet that I talked about at the beginning of the stream at 12.5. If you want to boost your payout, then also look to his three-pointers made. There's about a 50% chance he goes over this. In his last 10 games, he has 5 games where he's gone over this line. So when he goes over his normal three-point prop of 1.5, in 5 of those games, he gets you 3 or more. That's about as good as a demon prop can get, 50-50, to be honest. Sometimes you'll see him at 48, 46% chance to hit, which are terrible odds, but the payout really entices you to put him in your slip. Damian says, Nas Reed over 2.5 blocks and steals on PrizePicks. Anthony Edwards, Jimmy Butler, always on that don't play till it matters. Yeah, especially Jimmy Butler, especially when you have such a good surrounding cast. It's just less for you to have to do, and you just kind of save your legs, I guess. Anthony Edwards, like, he'll play every game, but he definitely doesn't need to play all-star level every game, especially against teams like the Pistons and the Wizards. What did you say, Jalen? Walker and Ayton busted my slips playing against Boston. Ugh. I did take the over on Scoot's assist. Put that in the Discord cheat sheet. Put it in a 2-pick along with Micic and Giddey's assist combo. That was easy. 13 assists. Giddey had 13 assists by himself. That was fun. Taking the over on that one. The hardest name in the major leagues to say for me is Cal Quantrill. Because I want to say Cal Quantrill. That shit is hard, man. That's some hooked on phonics shit right there. Under 3.5 strikeouts. Let's take a look at it. If you guys don't know what Hooked on Phonics is, look it up. I'm assuming the Quantrell is on Underdog or just another pick'em site. Too good of a line for PrizePicks to have up. So anytime you don't see a prop on PrizePicks, then your next move should be Underdog, where he does have a strikeout prop of 3.5, but they're only letting you take the over at a 1.1 payout boost, meaning that it's more risky. So that's like a demon prop, which goes to tell you that the under is heavily in play. If you took the under on Underdog at 3.5, it's only a 0.9 payout boost. So there's your demon and goblin situation right there. Let's throw his 2.5 up there and let's see if we can leverage that. All right. We got two Blazers to look up. We have LeBron, we have Siakam, we have PJ, and we have Quantrell. Let's head over to props.cash for our second round. We'll break these down. Let's start with Quantrell. Who the hell does he play for? He plays for Colorado. Yikes. Oof. Yeah. Look at that. -145 to go under 3.5 strikeouts. Pitching in Coors Field versus Arizona, who is raking right now. Numbers against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Played them one time this season in Arizona. Struck out one batter. Over his last 5 games, 2 games this season. So this is what we're looking at. He's averaging 2 strikeouts in his last 2 games. He's projected for 3. I have like a dust particle in my eye, but it always feels like a boulder, and it's the tiniest little thing. I can feel it. All right, so Arizona, look, last season, not a heavy strikeout team at 20.7, and this season, even better at 18.4. They are not striking out a lot. It doesn't mean they're getting on base. It doesn't mean they're hitting safely or hitting home runs. It just means that they're putting the ball in play and they're not striking out. So if you're looking to take the over on a strikeout pitcher, these are a couple of stats that you want to look at. This tells you these usually correlate with the odds. So tough team to strike out, therefore his odds are favored towards the under. Makes sense. Now, there are some strikeouts in this lineup. But we're looking at a couple different things here. It's possible this guy gets rocked, doesn't last 5 innings. He's giving you 5 innings in 2 games. His last game against Chicago, hitter-friendly ballpark, much like Coors, he lasted 4. So it's possible that we see him give you 4 with a couple of strikeouts and he gives up 4 on runs, something like that. That's kind of what you're thinking here when you see a low line like this and it's such heavy juice to the under on the strikeouts. So I wouldn't even risk this one on the Goblin play because, yeah, he could probably get you 3 strikeouts. But why risk on such a shitty line with shitty payout? Like, if you're going to take a risk, I mean, take a risk on a demon. Or I would, if you're going to play it, don't play it on PrizePicks. At least play it on Underdog where you're getting a better payout. But I wouldn't touch it at the 2.5. But it does make sense. He's taking the under at 3.5 makes a lot of sense. Makes more sense to take that than the over at 2.5. But we only put that up on the board so we'd have something to bookmark. All right. So yeah, under on 3.5 strikeouts for Quantrell. He is on Underdog with some adjusted payouts. He's not on PrizePicks at that 3.5 line. He is on hot streak at 3.5 strikeouts. You take the under on hot streak at 1.80. That's a pretty good payout for the under. That would be my first place to play that, unless you're playing it on a book. Then underdog, then PrizePicks. All right, let's take a look at some Portland Trailblazers. We'll take a look at DeAndre Ayton's RA, 14.5 today, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. He's gone 4 straight. Look, some tough matchups here. Boston and Orlando. Chicago, ugly, slow team. It's getting it done, right? New Orleans is just a really grimy matchup. I feel like the combination of Zion and Joe Val, I don't know. I feel like there's foul trouble in this one for Ayton. I could be wrong, and that's just my feeling. I don't have any data to back that up. But if you feel like this continues, then this is right in that range. So it's not too high. You would like to see it a little lower, but it's fine where it is. You'd rather play it here than 15, which it might get bumped up to 15 if people keep playing it. But at 14.5, you're getting odds all in favor of the under, except for points bet. So it's possible this one doesn't get bumped up, which is great. It'd be great if we get this bumped down. If people keep playing the under on this one, we could possibly see it get bumped down to 14. Then you might want to take the over on that one with some push potential. So the odds don't look good at 14.5. 14 would probably give you way better, not probably, would definitely give you way better odds for the over on this one. Numbers against the Pelicans this season, he has 2 games played. He's averaging 15, 20, and 10. In that game against the Pelicans, he was 13 shot attempts. He made 10. Okay. He took a 3. Two turnovers, only 2 personal fouls. In the 2 games played against the Pelicans, he's only committed 2 personal fouls. So maybe scratch what I just said about his turnover probability, because he doesn't seem to be getting it done in the foul category. So maybe he's on the court for 40 minutes again. I mean, his minutes, along with the rest of these guys, has been crazy. In that last game against New Orleans, 38 minutes. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 35. I mean, if DeAndre Ayton gives you 36 minutes of 3 or less fouls, there's a hell of a good chance that he goes over this line. Yeah. The odds don't really support it, but you maybe want to create your own game, narrative here for DeAndre Ayton. Let's look at the DeAndre Banton, Delano Banton. Also playing a ton of minutes. Billups is giving these dudes minutes. He's spoon feeding them minutes every game. Barring foul trouble or injury, these guys are going to be on the court. It's hard to look for the under on some of these props when you know these guys are getting you 35 minutes a game. That's not the case for every player. These guys are getting way over on their minutes. Like, most people aren't even seeing 30. So again, 4 out of his last 5 games, 6 out of his last 10. He is projected for 9.66 RA. You would round up. And then similar odds. Minus 125, 123, 125, 125 to the under. So you want to go with the odds, take the under. You want to go with on the court situations, which is tons of playing time, tons of scoring opportunity. Minutes are gold in the NBA. You always have a chance to go over your prop if you're on the court. Can't do it from the bench. So This is a very low line for him. I'm very, very positive that in all these games where he went over, that he was not projected to go over, and the odds were not in favor of the over. So he's been defying the odds for a few of these games. If you feel like it continues, then you take the over on this at 9.5 because it's a low line. Let's look at LeBron, 24.5 points. LeBron's been killing RA too. Jeez. The only problem with him is this shit is like this is not really Sabonis territory. But that's a pretty big number, 16.5. Let's look at his points. I feel like his points were lower. Well, at least all the books are showing it at 24.5. So maybe it was not ever at 23. I felt like I saw it at 23. All right. Points bets likes the over. BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, all these books like the over. Now, there is some juice to the under on every single one of these books. So take note of that. All right. He's gone over this line in 5 of his last 10, 2 of his last 5. However, numbers against the Warriors, and these are playoff games, except for these two, 36 and 40. He likes playing the Warriors. At home, doesn't matter if he's at home or not. Let's find out. Maybe. So 3 out of the last 5 games at home. One of those games happened about a month ago. Gives you 40. One thing that I've been doing as I look at these props, like I mentioned earlier in the intro, we got some meaningful games for some of these teams today. Look, as bad as the Wizards are, Minnesota needs to win this game because they're not trying to give up that top seed. Must win game for the Wolves. Must win game for the Thunder. They're only a game behind. You think they want to go out there and lose to the Kings? No. Must win game for the Kings because they don't want to be in the A spot. They're trying to jump the Pelicans. Lakers, must win game for the Lakers here. Was it a must win game? I mean, they're only 2 ahead of the Warriors. This is a play-in spot. I mean, yeah, kind of, because if the Kings lost today and the Lakers won, they got bumped up to the 8th spot. They're out the playoff. They're out of the play-in tournament, right? They would play the winner of the play-in tournament. These are meaningful games. So I would feel like in a game like this, we start to see the best version of LeBron. We start to see him elevate his scoring and elevate his level of play. It's kind of what he does. So 25 points doesn't seem like a whole lot. I think this is a strong number. Watch it just go all out the window and he gets scratched tonight. But if he plays tonight, I think this is in play for sure at 24 points, 24.5 points. Got bumped up to 25. So I forgot that it got bumped up to 25. So at 25, it's still in play. If you're hesitant to play it at 25, let's look at all the times where he got you 25 exactly. So over his last 10 games, he's only hooked it once. He's either going under by not even close, right? That shit didn't matter if it was 24.5 or 25. He didn't get close. But he has 5 games, 6 games where he got you 26 or more. So there is still positive history with the game logs. You can still play it at 25 or just look for it somewhere else at 24.5. It's at 25.5 on HOTSTREAK. So you're getting it at a lower line on PrizePicks still. But that does tell you that it's going to get bumped up again. So if you like the over on his points, you might as well take them now. Why would you wait until they get bumped up and then talk yourself into it? It's 25 on underdog. It's going to get bumped up to 25.5. Play it now if you want. If not, don't be mad when it gets bumped up. Siakam over points. And then we'll go PJ Washington over points. Siakam returning to Toronto Is this his first time playing Toronto in Toronto since coming over from Toronto? How many times can you use Toronto in a sentence? Yeah, the last time they met was in Indiana. So wonder if they'll give him like a nice little video montage or some shit. 22.5 points. Has not gone over this in 5 straight games. Scratch that. 22.5 points. Has only gone over this in 1 out of his last 5 games. So slightly better, but not by much. On the road, much better. Much better. All these games are as a pacer. Halliburton is present for these games. I believe all of them. Projected for just 20 points. Let's see what the odds say to us. Over on DraftKings, over on Caesars, and over on PointsBet with BetMGM and FanDuel giving you split odds. So 3 out of the 5 books like the over. We got a guy who plays better on the road against his former team. I don't mind it. But in full transparency, I feel like I can never get Siakam right. So I feel like I'm just bad at picking his props. So I try not to play too many of his lines unless it's a good rebounding line. But you do have a good amount of supporting data for the over here. So if that's the way you want to roll, you got a lot working out for you. PJ Washington returning to Charlotte. He should be bringing him flowers and shit. Thank you so much for getting me out of this shit ass team. Thank you. They should have like a video montage instead of like of all his highlights. It should just have "You're welcome" flashing on the screen. You're welcome. That's it. They did him a favor. 4 games straight of 14 plus points. He has been on quite the tear over his last 5 games. Even here where he didn't get the points against Houston, I mean, he's hooking it. He may have gotten the points in this game. I'm sure his point prop wasn't 12.5. It may have been 10.5 or 11.5. But 4 out of his last 5, he's gone over this. 60% of his last 10. Matchup doesn't get any better than what Charlotte offers here. Projected for 16.5, 16.8 points. Think that might be a little too inflated. It doesn't matter. He needs 13, and the projection is well over 13. I like it. I like it. I like his threes. I'm willing to take the over on his threes as well. I mentioned earlier that 50% of the games over his last 10 games, he's gone over demon line. So when he goes over his 1.5 3-point prop, in 5 of those games, he's getting you the demon too. So if you want to roll the dice on this one as a payout booster in the flex, it's a pretty smart strategy. In terms of his threes, obviously the demon line isn't going to get the best odds. But in terms of his points, at 12.5, minus 122, minus 133, as this one will be bumped up at some point to 13.5. But if you locked it in at 12.5, you're good. You're good. This one looks good to me. I like it. All right. Playing the over on LeBron, as I think we're starting to see his playoff LeBron. Banton's line is a good line at 9.5. He's playing tons of minutes. To my surprise, Ayton has not gotten into foul trouble versus the Pelicans this season. So this one, if he remains on the floor and out of foul trouble, this one is in play. Does it benefit him if they go small, like with Nance instead of Valanciunas? Valanciunas' minutes have been all over the place. If they go small ball, does that help Ayton, or is Nance just a better defender and it kind of, makes it difficult for Ayton? Siakam over points, much better on the road over his last 10 games. PJ Washington in a great spot for this and his threes. We don't like this at all. I'm not playing this. Neither should you. But if you want to take the under on Quantrell's 3.5 strikeout prop on Hot Streak, play it on Hot Streak at 3.5 for the under before you play it anywhere else. So let's go ahead and screenshot these. I throw all these screenshots over in the Discord. The Discord channel is called Live Player Props. So every player prop I research on lives, I throw them in there so you can use them as a reference for you throughout the day. Don't be mad at me if they get bumped up. I can't freeze the fucking line. It is what it is right now. But by the time you get to it, it may not be the same line. So don't at me mad because the shit got bumped up 5 hours later. All right, 2 rounds done. Let's get a few more plays in here, everybody. 36 viewers on the stream. I appreciate y'all being here. What's going on, Curtis? Good morning to you. Jim says, I smell a double-double for Siakam. That Joker turnover prop looks too good to be true. Utah has no players to force turnovers. Let's take a look at it. PrizePicks has Joker's turnovers at 2.5. Any more baseball props? Well, no, we don't have any more yet. I don't see. All right, cool. Let's pull up Joker. I literally typed Joker. They should let you look up aliases for players. That'd be so much better. His assists got bumped from 8.5 to 9. That was also on the board for a while. Like the under on that one. What's going on, JR? What's going on, man? Good morning. Micic over 2.5 turnovers. Joey Meneses over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Over. Let's look at this Joey Meneses. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Is that what you like? All right. We got Shea under 5.5 rebounds from JR. I was also looking at Shea's 40.5 PRA. Probably got bumped down to 39 already. Yep. But he crushes Sacramento. He absolutely destroys Sacramento. I think he's 5 for 5 in going over PRA. I know it's his first game back after a few games off, but they're in must-win mode too. They're trying to get the top seed. So I don't feel like this is a game for him to like, oh yeah, you could take the night off. Lou Dort got your back. Like I think he needs to show up and play hard. So 40.5, it's such a high number, but boy, his numbers against Sacramento made me pump the brakes a little bit on that one. Stephen Kwan, Brian Hayes over hitting fantasy. Love breaking down fantasy scores. That shit's fun. I think I have that. I do. Let me see if I can get it off the shelf. Yeah, I have this. I don't know if you can see this card. I pulled it from a hobby box, but it's a Brian Hayes printing plate. It's a cyan printing plate, and it's his autograph, and it's a 1 of 1. So this is the only one that exists in the world. I can't even look up a price on it because I own it. I have it, so I don't even know what it would go for, but I've been waiting on him to get it going so I can like possibly list it on eBay. But that's a pretty cool card, the printing plates. All right, who do we got? Brian Hayes over fantasy. Perfect. That's 6. We got Jokic, Micic, Meneses, Gilgeous-Alexander, Quan, and Hayes. All right. Out of all those guys, out of all those NBA props, I feel like Shea can make a good make the seamless transition into Major League Baseball. I just feel like he's a fluid athlete. He could probably play shortstop or maybe outfield. I don't think Jokic would do too well at baseball. I don't know about Micic, but out of those 3 guys, I think it's safe to say that SGA is the best athlete. Probably has the most upside in like multi-sports. For sure. All right. Let's head over to props.cash. Let's start breaking these plays down. And let's start in Charlotte with Micic over turnovers. So we already have this game pulled up because we were looking at PJ. Let's take a look at Micic's turnovers. Micic kind of taking over that backcourt. Lots of volume for this dude. Back-to-back games with 3+ turnovers. We talk about the increased usage rate for players and how that increases turnover opportunities. If you're a believer in that, then you always look for guys who have started getting minutes increased. Like, look what's going on with Scoot. Scoot's healthy. He's playing a shit ton of minutes. He's turning the ball over a lot. He's doing a lot, but he's also turning it over a lot. Over his last 5 games, 40% hit rate. Over his last 10, 50% hit rate. Over his last 5 games, Micic is averaging 34 minutes. Over his last 10, 32. Let's say over his last 30. Look at the difference. So you can definitely see when his usage began to increase based off minutes on the court. Look at that shit. Also, look at his turnovers. It's not a coincidence. It happens. So looking at the over on his turnovers, 2.5, it's in play. Minus 139 to go over turnovers at 2.5. Minus 140, minus 125. This one, I think this one will get taken off the PrizePicks board at some point. Because I don't think that they bump turnovers. I don't think that they take turnovers and bump them down. I think they just take them off the board. At least that's what I've seen happen on PrizePicks. All right, that's Micic. Who else? Shea. So let's look at his rebounds. 5.5. He's projected for 4.9. He has missed a few games, but 3 out of his last 5 he's gone under. 4 out of his last 5 he's gone under. And then looking at his last 10, he has 3, 4, 5, 6 games where he's gone under this. Big rebounding games here, but that's not the case every game. On the year, he is averaging 5.5 rebounds. So that line that you're seeing today is based off season average. Projections say otherwise, and then odds under. This will get bumped down to 5 at some point. Let me show you what I was talking about with his PRA. So 39.5. It was at 40.5. All right. He's projected for just 35. This isn't great. Look at this shit. 4 for 4. 3 games this season, he's gone over this versus the Kings. The numbers are what they are. So this made me pump the brakes a little bit. And the standings also made me pump the brakes on this one a little bit. I'd rather take the under on his rebounds because he doesn't need a big rebounding game to go over PRA. He needs a good rebounding game, 4 to 5, but he doesn't need 10 to go over this because he's going to do so much in the scoring. So Under on his rebounds at 5.5. I'm not going to play his PRA as high as that number is. I can't do it. All right, let's look at Jokic. Speaking of high numbers, we believe that his turnover prop is a little high. Now he's projected for 4 turnovers today. Now, against Utah, look at this. Are we getting some recency bias against Utah? These 2 games, he's gone over 3 with 3 and 6. Over his last 10 games, he's turning the ball over a lot. Now, all these teams, but maybe San Antonio, I would say, yeah, San Antonio is a better team than Utah. I think they have more talent. I don't know about record-wise, but I feel like they're in a better spot long-term. But this season, I would say they're about even. They're both not that good. But not what I was trying to get at is not every team on here is like a juggernaut, right? LA's a beast. Cleveland, good defense. Minnesota's a beast. Minnesota again. Memphis is not a good team. San Antonio, Atlanta. He's turning the ball over against these subpar teams. The odds like the over on this one. The projections like the over on this one. But if you feel there's a mistake here, then this is a line to jump on. This is definitely a line to jump on. Just keep in mind that with turnovers, especially for centers, it's not about people on the other side that steal the ball. Offensive charges for centers are huge. Who's reffing this game? Who's in charge of this game? Are they calling offensive fouls? Are they calling charges on centers? Because if they are, he'll probably pick up 2 just on that shit alone. And then all it takes is 1 bad pass, because he's averaging how many potential assists per game? 12 potential assists. On 12 potential assists, he's converting 9. So that's three potential assists that don't convert. Are those turnovers? Are those missed shots? What are they? I think there's a little bit more to this one, but if you feel like he has one of these games where it's 1 or less, then that number is way too high. I learned that the hard way with turnovers. I didn't realize that offensive fouls, charges, count as a turnover. And then when I figured it out, I started playing the over on people like Vooch and Rudy Gobert. It's like, damn, that was really fast. Like, you don't really keep track of those in the game. You're just like watching the scoring, but you don't realize how many turnovers centers have, especially centers with bad hands like Rudy Gobert. All right, we looked up Jokic. We looked up Micic, Shea. All right, we got 3 MLB plays to look up. Meneses, Quan, and Cabrian Hayes. We're going to break down Meneses first. Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs as the Nationals head west to the Bay. All right, so minus 135 odds on FanDuel to go over this line. DraftKings, you're also getting minus 135 on BetMGM. He is projected for 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. No history versus Kyle Harrison versus lefties. Meneses is not having a bad career versus lefties. This season versus lefties, 200 batting average, 3 singles. But the odds like this one, as do the projections. Kyle Harrison versus righties in 2024, 303 batting average, 35 batters faced, 5 singles, 2 doubles, 3 home runs. He is getting destroyed from the right side of the plate. So I'm pretty sure that has a little bit to do with it. Positive odds, positive projections, good pitcher hitter matchup for him. All right. Let's take a look at Steven Kwan over fantasy score 7. So let's break this down according to his projections first. Projected for a single, that's 3 points. Projected to score a run, that's 2 points. That's 5. And then when you add up all these little fractions, you're probably close to 7. Let's look at the odds. So minus 250 to get 1 single. That's a huge number. So we could be looking at a multi-hit game for Steven Kwan. If he gets you 2 singles, that's 6 points. Probably not going to get any base up. Minus 10,000. All right. RBI. So I think the best case scenario for Steven Kwan, because he leads off, is to get on base and score a run. That's probably his best combo to attack. So run scored. So again, if he gets on base with a single and Jose Ramirez brings him in or somebody, that's 5 points. He does need multiple hits though. Unless he hits a home run, being the first at bat, that's the only way you can drive in an RBI, is to hit a home run. That's it. There's nobody else on. There's nobody on base. So he needs 2 singles and a run scored. To me, that's probably the most probable outcome here. He can hit a home run and just call game on that one. But numbers against damn, do we even have a pitcher on the other side? All right. Mike Soroka. Steven Kwan has 3 plate appearances against Soroka, has not struck out, which is great. So he's putting the ball in play, but he's not getting on base either. So you want to see that change today. Let's go back to Kwan. All right, so nothing to show here. Kwan versus righties 2024, man. 33 plate appearances, 10 singles, 2 doubles, and a home run. This is a great, I mean, he's doing pretty well against lefties too. 333 batting average, but obviously a 406 batting average against righties probably isn't sustainable across the season, but right now he's raking. It's a good matchup for him. Again, he needs 2 hits and a run scored or hit a home run. I think those two honestly are his best, like the best scenarios for him to get over that line of 7 fantasy score. So 2 hits, 2 singles, and a run score gives you 8 fantasy. All right, last play we'll break down in this block. It was Ke'Bryan Hayes over 6.5 fantasy score. Actually, hold on. Is there stolen base upside for Kwan? Not yet. Okay, that's another way too. If you get on base with a single and you steal second, that's 8 fantasy points. You're over. So stolen base upside is also a part of fantasy, but for Steven Kwan to start the year off, there's really not a whole lot there. Not a whole lot of stolen base upside for Ke'Bryan Hayes right now either. So he's projected for 2 hits, runs, and RBI. So that's 1 hit and probably another run scored. So let's look at his single. Projected for basically, if you want to say that's 2 singles here, you can. Minus 154 is a large number. So it could be closer to 2 than 1. Doubles, better odds on these extra base hits than what we saw for Steven Kwan, but So again, I think the most likely scenario for Ke'Bryan Hayes is to get on base and to score a run. Can he draw a walk? Absolutely. So in how many plate appearances are we looking at for Ke'Bryan Hayes? Roughly 5. I think 5 is in play. So out of 5 plate appearances, if Ke'Bryan Hayes draws a walk, he ends up getting a single, that's 5, and he scores a run, that's 7. That's over 6.5. All right, so numbers against righties this season. Not that great to start off. Batting average wise, I mean, got 7 hits, no home runs yet. Numbers against lefties are great. So Casey Mize is on the other side of this game. BVP versus Casey Mize. So really the only player on this current Pittsburgh team that has any plate appearances versus Casey Mize is Michael Taylor. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of sample size we can look at for BVP. So basically, we just got to go by projections. Draw a walk, hit a single, score a run. That's probably the most likely scenario. Or you can hit a home run. That's the fastest way to go over. Stolen bases are helpful as well, but we haven't seen him steal a base yet. All right. I'm a little iffy on this Joker turnovers. I'm not gonna lie. After seeing those numbers and digging into the game logs, I didn't realize he was that careless with the ball over the last 10 games. But if you feel like the under is a mistake, or if you feel like that line is a mistake, then attack the under on this one. We do like the over on Mičić. We like the over on Meneses. We like the under on Shea. And we made a logical case for each one of these dudes going over fantasy score. I'll be the minority on this one. I'll say Jokic does turn the ball over 3 times today. And then when I'm wrong, you can tell me tomorrow. All right. Boom. 31 viewers on the stream. Thank y'all so much for being here. Got those hitter scores. Let's see. Yeah, that's another thing too. Is those guys, like, is Murray out today? Murray's been out for a couple games, right? When Murray's out, I mean, we'd have to go back and look at the sample size, but in terms of potential assists for Jokic, does it increase? The ball's in his hands definitely more when Murray's out, but could that be contributing to turnover opportunities? Could be. Could be. All right, real quick. I want to show you a few things from the Discord. So I mentioned earlier in the stream, Discord last few days, actually doing all right, making some money, winning some money over there. And I said, and if you for those members who have crossed over to the premium section, they've made their money back and then some. So this is all from yesterday. Got a nice esports slip hit there, thanks to Knuckles, who shared a few slips in the Discord. You follow those, then you cashed out a couple cashes here for Knuckles. There's Ruben, there's Encore with 5 for 5 on his slips yesterday, all on Hard Rock. Couple more slips here. Cash. Tristan Newton was a play that I was on. Put him in a couple of slips, both over on his assist and demon assist that hit for us. Trey Turner was my write up of the day yesterday. That cashed for us. Reese Olson, Mitch Keller was another play that I was on. That cashed for us. Lizardo cashed for us. All these plays are given out in the premium section. A lot of them are given out in the freemium section too. So you can build out a slip based off all the free information we give out. But those slips hit for us yesterday. There's Big T. There's Knuckles again. $300 on that cash. There's a couple of slips for me. I tell Big T, my only regret is I didn't put $100 on this slip. But nice 25x for us. And then this was my play that I put in the Discord yesterday. There's my Tristan Newton play. Trey Turner took the under on Donovan Klingon, 23.5 PRA. There's all these plays I share in the premium, in the free section as well. This one, oh so close to another sweep here. Spencer Turnbull was the only piece of shit yesterday that didn't hit for us. Everybody else hit. And you can see I'm playing the same guys in a lot of these slips. I'm just trying to like max out profit here. So that's what's going on in the Discord. That's what's going on in premium and freemium. A lot of plays are shared in the Discord. If you don't want to cross over to premium, I still try to provide a lot of information for you, but obviously more information is shared in our premium section, and not just from me, but from the providers, and then from guys like Knuckles who are just being super generous with their slips, helping everybody eat. Last time I'll mention this today, I'll mention it again tomorrow, but 2 offers I got going on right now before we head out. All right. This one is exclusive to Discord members only. You don't even have to be in the premium section to take advantage of this. You can be in the freemium section, but you do have to be a member of my Discord to take advantage of this annual plan from Props.cash. $149.99 for the full year. If you're already on a monthly, cancel that and join this. You're going to save money. Averages out to $12.49 per month. If you do the math, your monthly right now times 12, you're going to save $90 basically off this plan. Again, Discord members only. This is not being posted on Twitter. I don't even have an Instagram. I don't do social media at all, except for YouTube. I barely use Twitter. This is only for my Discord members and nobody else. My second offer is for a limited time, but 10-day pass into the premium section. You don't want to do a full month. You don't want to do a full year. That's cool. Try it out for 10 days, $9.99, 10 days. I promise you'll make this back and then some. All my premium members have made their money back and then some. So if you're interested in this or the Props.cash offer, just hit me up in the Discord, shoot me a DM, and I'll walk you through the next steps. But I think those are pretty 2 legit offers. Today's stream, we covered 3 rounds of player props. I don't know exactly how many player props we covered, probably closer to 25, but we covered a ton of player props, answered questions. We went over injury news, turds of the day, my 3 plays taken from the Discord. You can also find those in the freemium section or freemium cheat sheet. You can find the 3 plays I talked about today on that cheat sheet, so they're not very hard to find. We covered a lot in today's stream, an hour and 30 minutes in, so I think that was a pretty productive stream. I don't even know who the tacos are right now. I haven't even been keeping up with the tacos, what the poll is, or what's going on over there. Are they up on the board? I'm trying to check, but my laptop is from 1985. No, I have a feeling. Is Joel Embiid in the poll in the taco voting? I had a feeling this morning when I looked at his points for the day. I felt like that had taco written all over it. Getting those points down to like 24.5 or something like that. But we'll see what those are. But we've made it to the end of another live stream. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button on your way out if you did not hit it on your way in. Helps the channel get bigger every single day. Divine says, hey, do you think the Bucks could win tonight? I think it's probable, but I don't think it's likely unless the Celtics decide to rest like everybody, which could happen, honestly. There's really no incentive for them to try to win this game. And there's more incentive for the Bucks to try to win. Fade them tacos, man. Fuck them tacos, man. Fuck them tacos. DeJounte Murray. Okay, Vu has it up. DeJounte Murray, 21 to 17.5. Brunson, fucking Brunson, dude. Is there nobody we can talk about but Brunson? This dude is in rotation every single week. There's Siakam. That scares me. We were looking at the over in Siakam's points, and now they're being bumped down to 18.5. That always scares me. Out of all these plays, which player has the most incentive to go out there and do their thing? Like meaningful game. Maybe Brunson, but I hate taking this dude's stuff. I don't like it. Luka? Mavs are 2 up on the Suns for the 5th seed. They're 2 games back of the Clippers for the 4th seed. Maybe Luka. I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. I don't really like this taco lineup. This might be a day to take the under on the OG lines. Luka is the one I would have the most interest in, though. Yeah, Luka's the one I would have the most interest in. You guys, man. It's like one more player prop. One more player prop. I think JR was asking about Halliburton. Halliburton. Halle Bailey. Who was asking about Halliburton? Am I making that up? No, it was JR. All right, last two. Last 2 player props, and we'll dip out like 7 layers. Back-to-back games of terrible fucking games. Whoa. Then he had this nice little group of games here. Ooh. He's projected for 17. Pacers need to win this game. They can't bullshit this game around. Is it a Siakam game or is it a Halliburton game? Is it a Halliburton scoring 0 points in the first half but has 10 assists in the first half kind of game? You never know with this dude. When in doubt, look at the odds. Minus 120 to go over, 127 to go over, 125, 120. So pretty decent odds across the board to go over on 4 of those 5 books. The projections don't really like it for the over. Head-to-head games versus the Raptors. He has 2 games this season where he's giving you an average of 15, but single out game 21-9. He's capable, but then he has a game like this. Just don't know, man. If you're basing this off the odds, the over is in play. But man, based off those numbers we saw for Siakam on the road, those are strong numbers. I don't know, man. I don't know. he has just not been the same since the play-in tournament. Josh Hart over on points. He didn't score any points. Did he get ejected in that game? Did something happen to him in that game? Oof. That 31-point game is really helping out that average. Otherwise, this would be like under 10. Way like under 8 maybe. He's projected for 11.5 points. That's 12 points if you round it up. And then in terms of odds, the most favorable odds you're getting is on Caesars at -121. You got BetMGM at -115, but PointsBet, DraftKings see it identically at 115 to each side, and FanDuel likes the under. So the fuck, man. Yeah, bad numbers against Chicago, bad 10-game numbers, and bad 5-game numbers. If you think he's due, Chicago just plays a just dreadful style of basketball. It is not conducive for high scoring, but if you feel like he's due and this is a game where he's going to get you 11 points or more, it's the lowest we've seen his number in a while, right? His points were at like 12.5, 13.5 at one point. All right. To be completely honest, I think you can make a case for both unders and overs for these two. I didn't really see anything that was just making me love either side. You can definitely see either or happening for these two players, especially Halliburton. You just never know what's going to happen with that guy. Taking less on original props. Yep. Where's Indiana in the East? All right. So, like I said, Indiana has to win. To say things are must wins right now, I mean, they're in the playoffs, but I'm sure like if you can make ground, right? If you can jump the Cavs, why wouldn't you jump the Cavs, right? I mean, you're going to play the Cavs in the first round anyway. Is that what it looks like? But doesn't the higher seed impact home court advantage and shit like that? Or maybe they don't feel like it matters. We're good at 6. We're just going to stay at 6. They start resting players and not take it seriously. I mean, they really... Actually, no. Look at the 76ers. They're right there. So we know the 76ers want to win out, right? So they have to win to keep up with the Cavs and to prevent the 76ers from jumping them. So that 5th through 7th seed is kind of like this big cluster of teams. I mean, you can even throw New York in there. That's half a game. That is... 2 games, 1.5 games behind. There's very, very little separation between those teams. But like I said with the Celtics, there's absolutely no incentive for them to go out there and try to win this game. Like, who gives a shit? They've locked up the number 1 seed. There's no chance in hell they lose it. They're not losing anything. They go out there and try to compete with the Bucks is just because they're trying to stay sharp and not give their players too much rest. They don't want to be super ice cold going into the playoffs, so they got to have still a rhythm going on. But how many minutes do you see from the starters today? If the Bucks want to go all out and try to win this game, which they probably should try to be because the Magic are right behind them, but outside of the Celtics, everything is kind of still up for grabs. So, like I said at the beginning of the stream, we got some meaningful games today. There are some teams that are still trying to win, that need to win for different reasons. So hopefully we don't see any bullshit rotations and blowouts today. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, he got ejected. I knew it. Thanks, Damien. I knew it. Hockey tacos have been good, for sure. Vibes, what's going on? Good morning. Oh, God. Those are the worst, man. And they're always trying to do some Atlanta promo because they're based in Atlanta. They're always trying to do some Atlanta shit. No way. I don't care how much salsa you put on that shit. I mean, if you want first half, I feel like they're playing first half minutes, like regular first half minutes. They're still just trying to keep in the flow of the game, but they're maybe cutting back on the second half. I mean, can you imagine the backlash Joe Mazzulla would get if he ran his guys out there normal minutes and one of them got hurt? I mean, dude, it just doesn't make any sense. Five and a half assists for Josh Hart. Four out of his last 5 games. Only game he didn't go over was that game against Chicago. That was just a bad game for him. Minus 132 to go under 5.5 assists. DraftKings likes the under. FanDuel likes the under. Even on Caesars, under on BetMGM and under on PointsBet. So 4 out of the 5 books like the under on this one. He is projected for 5.5, so right at that number. I don't know really what's keeping his odds down. When you have game logs that look like this, both 5 and 10 game logs look great. Now his numbers against the Chicago Bulls this season, 2 games, 0 for 2, 0 for 3, but these 2 are this season. Hey, Chicago's rolling, man. They locked in that play-in spot. They're ready to roll. Yeah. Again, if you're game log watching, this is, if you like what you see in terms of game logs, then this over looks good to you. If you're data driven and you're looking at the odds, then you're looking at this saying, I'm taking the under or maybe staying away. It's not too common that we see such great game logs for a player, but terrible odds. Usually there's some correlation there. But to have these types of game logs and then having this heavy juice to the under on all these books, we don't always see that. We do sometimes though. All right. Yeah, I would say the same, Knuckles. They all need to win except the Celtics. Even the West is even more competitive because you got the top 3 teams still trying to fight it out. So, like, you should see pretty competitive basketball, hopefully, till the end of this season. Who got fined? The Celtics? Oh, the Hawks got fined? Who got fined? The Hawks need to get fined. All right. It's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all being here. Almost 2 hours on a live stream. Sometimes we do 2 hours, sometimes we do an hour, sometimes we're right in the middle. It just depends on the slate, depends on the boards and what we're able to talk about. But we found enough to talk about today to get it into that 2 hour range. So appreciate y'all being here. If you made it this far, if I answered any question for you, consider subbing up to the channel. Definitely hit the like button on your way out, as it helps this channel reach new viewers every day. It's how we grow. Consider sharing this channel with somebody you know. Make sure those notifications are on so you don't miss the next live stream. It is tomorrow, 9 a.m. We'll be back, hopefully talking about maximum profits, minimal turds, no spoil tacos, all green beans on tomorrow's live stream. As I always say, I hope all of your player props respect the damn coin. I wish you all the best of luck. And then any questions about the offers, any question about my 2 promos right now, definitely hit me up in the Discord. But until tomorrow's live stream, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Chavez is out.